just naturally gone up because the road is straight and
there's 4 lanes. Yeah.
And they'll put a cop out there to scare people again.
Right.
Because they want people, and they'll do that with the businesses. They'll fine a business and they'll put it in the press and they'll do stuff and hope that for every one that they do, there's 10,000 of them that are scared into behaving.
Right. Well, like I said, if a law is only functional if everybody agrees. If everybody says, no, we're not going to do that and we're not going to accept your penalties. And literally everybody has to do that and be on board. Then all of a sudden, the law has no teeth.
Yeah. I mean, if I were having this discussion with my former co-workers, because we would have these all the time, you would get burned for saying everyone, because they were so literal bunch of engineers. It's like, whoa.
There's never going to be everyone.
Like 98%.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But even so, I mean, you can have laws that are passed and rule by fear, as in like, okay, death penalty if you're outside after dark.
Right.
And yeah, you can, hardly anyone agrees to that, but if they're going to shoot you, then you're probably going to have pretty good compliance.
That's true. Yeah.
And so it's a combination of, if people believe the laws are just, then you get citizens narking and citizen social pressure.
Right.
In addition to enforcement.
Exactly.
If laws are unjust, then you can lean heavily on fear.
Right. Which kind of seems like in a lot of ways that's where we're at right now. In a lot of situations, it seems like they're trying to lean more heavily on fear, mostly through exorbitant fines and ridiculousness. But it's not like the public as a whole is agreeing with this.
Well, and they've figured out that they can get more of the public to agree using fear again by scaring the shit out of you with disease.
Right.
And I'm not saying that it's not a problem. Okay.
Right. No, I 100% agree with you. It is obviously a problem.
Well, yes, right. Okay. So, but the news tonight, I mean, I have to bite my tongue. My wife watches it, and I can hardly stand to hear it. So they had a news show, I guess it was on NBC. I think she was watching that one. And they said, oh, well, okay, the Omicron is out, and we don't know a whole lot yet, but here's what we do know. And here's what they just released. And so the news story was what they just released about, how many people, it says, oh, yeah, the symptoms so far seem to be mild and blah, blah, blah. And, well, they said 80%, now maybe they misspoke, but they said 80% of the people who have it were vaccinated.
Right.
80% were vaccinated of the group that we're looking at to see who has Omicron.
Right.
And then they switch over to the government, and the government or some, medical person says, oh, well, okay, we're just learning about all this stuff, but what we know is that you got to stick to the stuff that works.
Right.
What works is vaccination.
So if 80% of the people are vaccinated, how is it that it's working?
Yeah, I was like, as soon as they said vaccination, I quit listening. I was like,
right.
Your evidence just said that has no bearing.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You are a clueless idiot. I'm not listening to you anymore.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Numbers don't lie. Now, I will say that whenever you see one of these, a statistic is almost, especially once it breaks out into the media, is useless, because anybody can take a statistic and generally make it say anything that they want.
Yeah, it's called epidemiology.
Right. They can make, and this goes for any statistic. It could go for, car accident deaths or, the disease or whatever they want to talk about, smoking, whatever. They can manipulate those numbers, and one person can be for it and manipulate the numbers and use that same set of statistics to be their pros. And the person who's against it can manipulate those statistics and be the cons. The numbers, but if you take the numbers in their literal context, which is the only time that a statistic is ever useful, is to the person who created it for the context of their research, is the only time that it's useful. every other person who gets their hands on it can manipulate that data to do whatever they want. And this is true 100% of the time. But the common person on the street doesn't fucking know that because they're dumb as a brick.
Well, and it's been figured out. Mostly this problem exists when it comes to human beings. When, statistics about protons decaying or whatever is less likely to be abused. But statistics for human beings, both sides have figured out that depending upon how you frame the picture, how you collect the data, you can say whatever you want. And now we've got idiots on, whatever is actually valid, that believe the stories that say, statistics say you should eat raw meat because it makes you healthy and live long.
Right.
It makes you not die. I love the ones that say, that decreased mortality. I'm going, what? Mortality is 100%.
Yeah. It is a constant.
It is a constant.
If you want the ultimate control group, death will always occur.
And so, whatever. We in America, we worship health or longevity or something. I don't know what it is, but sorry. Yeah.
Brady, are you with us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Howdy. Sorry about that.
So I didn't hear back from Corey, but we're just going to go ahead and run with this. Welcome to Rime of the Frostmaiden. We will be picking up where we left off last week. If you remember last week, they just got done putting down the terrifying Charlatan dragon. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the friends of the Greenwater Guildhall. If you are watching on Twitch, scroll down, you should see some tiles there. If you don't see the tiles, click on my profile image, and these tiles should take you to these fine people's websites. The first on the list is the Speechless Bard. The Speechless Bard makes beautiful leather products for your tabletop role-playing games. She's got dice bracelets that are leather bracelets with the dice shapes cut out. They come in a number of different styles if you like to show off your geekiness. She has a dice rolling mat that when it is rolled up, it looks like a spell scroll. She has leather covers for your core rulebooks. All of this is customizable to your liking. She also does all of this work by hand. She's an incredibly talented artist. If you are ordering for a gift or some other time-sensitive reason, or even for yourself, you'll want to give yourself a little bit of extra time. She is over in the UK, and so it can take a little while for it to cross the pond and get through customs. With the current shipping crisis, I don't know. I think the idea that it'll be here in time for Christmas is definitely out the window. But you are, of course, welcome to try, and in any case, everything that she makes is well worth the wait. Next on the list is the Fable Beard Company. Fable Beard Company makes beard products such as oils, balms, butters, and co-wash. Each of their scent profiles is a different fantasy character. So, for instance, today I'm wearing the Gingerbread Man, which is one of their Christmas scents. They do seasonal scents. But they have many, many different heroes for you to choose from. If you are a first-time purchaser, they have a buy one, get one free option. Go to fablebeardco.com, create an account, and you can put 2 beard oils in your cart. And if you use the code FIRST in all capital letters, that second beard oil will be discounted to free. We have a new friend of the Greenwater Guildhall. It should be noted that all of the friends of the Greenwater Guildhall, these are people that make products that we really like. There's not a partnership or sponsorship or anything like that. They just make stuff that we really like. The new member is Dogmight Games. They make wooden products such as DM screens and dice trays and player vaults and dice towers, and they have all manner of stuff. They do customization. You can customize them in numerous ways. Absolutely amazing pieces of art. Definitely check them out. After the first of the new year, we will be receiving some coupon codes that I'll be giving out for Dogmight Games, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. And last but not least, if you are a fan of our Wednesday Night Traveler game, we do have a website via Obsidian Portal. Just click on that tile, it'll take you to the Traveler website. The adventure log is written in the manner of Traveler News Service articles that detail all of the shenanigans that our crew gets up to as they pillage their way across the Trojan Reach. If you like our content, please give us a thumbs up, fan like, and we hope you enjoy. So, as I said, last week you guys had completed the dealing with the Charlemagne dragon, and you met somebody named Velen Harpel, who is of the Harpel family in the town of Longsaddle, way to the south. Very famous, rich family from the Sword Coast area. Velen asked you to join her on a quest. So her quest is a little bit complicated. So the first and foremost thing that she is here, she is a member of the Arcane Brotherhood. She is here in Icewind Dale searching for the lost Netherese city of Ithrin, which is said to be buried under the Reghead Glacier. She says that in order to, she followed, little tips and clues. One of them being that the way into this glacier was through a frozen waterfall. She believes that she has found said waterfall. And there is something called the Codicil of White that is in the possession of Auril the Frostmaiden, who you would know is the one who is, she's a god, and she is causing the permanent winter to be here in Icewind Dale. So she needs the Codicil of White. The other thing that she needs was stolen from her by a Arcane Brotherhood colleague. Nas Lantimir has stolen a Professor Orb that is named Professor Scant. And it's not a primary search item, but Velen would find it extremely wonderful. It is a family heirloom for the Harpel family. She would love to get Professor Scant back. She also says that, of course, going further, once you have the Codicil of White, Professor Scant can help detail and give more information as you make your way into Ithrin. So it would be a good thing to have Professor Scant. And then, of course, all of this is located on a iceberg out in the middle of the Sea of Moving Ice, on an island where it is suspected that Auril makes her home. So, I mean, there's some big stuff coming up here. And she says to get to that island that she is aware of an awakened sperm whale named Angajuk. And Angajuk has a magical boat that is strapped to its back. And people that are on the boat, it will envelop into an air bubble, and Angajuk can swim you there. So she suggests going to a location called Angajuk's Bell and ringing the bell and waiting for the whale to arrive. Now, Turpin had mentioned that before going to Angajuk's Bell, you wanted to deposit Valish Gant back at Revel's End. Is that still your plan?
Well, I'm Turpin, so I'll be quiet because that was my plan.
That's what I said. It was Turpin's plan.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did you still want to do that, or do you want to take Valish Gant with you?
So, Sam, What do you think?
I'm honestly thinking we should drop him off.
Yeah, honestly, he hasn't really been a whole lot of use to you.
Right, and he is our responsibility. So I mean, I'm just thinking as a person that's really alive. We borrowed him from prison where he was justly being serving his time, and we tried to find the lost spire. Well, we did find the lost spire of Netheril,
Right.
and that was the purpose. We said we would bring him back. We're good folks, so it's time to bring him back.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know that he's really offering anything to us at this point. I mean, say, hey, we're about to take you back, and if he's got some argument that he can help in this stuff, then that's great. But
he doesn't really have a whole lot of argument other than he says that he would be far more useful to you without the binders that are sapping his magical energies.
Well, if we wanted to remove the binders, then what we need to do is go back to, what is it, the Black Cabin? No, it wasn't I forget where it is that he's imprisoned.
Well, Revel's End. Revel's End.
And have the jailer patrons decide that you have served enough to be entrusted at the next level and remove them, or it does not seem like it's our call at this point. You did some bad shit,
right?
So just saying, oh well, thanks a lot, we had fun on the road trip with you, here, be free, that doesn't seem socially responsible.
Okay.
And Turpin's all about being socially responsible.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot. I mean, without with him wearing these anti-magic binders, there's not really a whole lot that he can really do about it. He's certainly not of the martial types. So, yeah, it takes you probably about the better part of 4 days to travel to Revel's End. They, of course, are actually, they're kind of surprised to see you back.
Okay, they didn't trust us, and they said, here, have a prisoner.
Well, no, not so much. More like they thought that you were bamboozling them, and that this was all some excessive attempt at getting Valish Gant free. And so when you come back, they are like, kind of surprised. And the warden comes down, and the warden, she is her normal self. She is not currently, remember, she is possessed by the ghost of her dead dwarven companion. She does have a little bit of red eye and act like she's a little hungover, so probably had a bout with him last night. But she is surprised that you brought him back. And so they once again go all the way to the top of Revel's End where the council chambers are. And the council members, not all of the council is here. Hold on a second, let me find Revel's End. So of the council members that are present are the same ones that were here last time. There is Voss Anderton from Neverwinter. There's Jill Torbo from Baldur's Gate, and Kriv Nerexius from the town of Daggerford, who is also a dragonborn, and of course the warden herself. And they they gather and they kind of. Are you going to embellish the report in any way, or are you just telling it like it was?
Well, yeah, we will tell it like it was. This is not a. So he did exactly. He was extremely compliant and extremely helpful in the things that he could do. He was. This is not a discussion on whether or not his personality is really wonderful or not. But he behaved as a citizen would, and was very helpful. So there's not, we didn't achieve everything that we were shooting for, but everything that he could do to help, right? Which, he was very constrained because he was handcuffed by these literal handcuffs, but he was constrained in what he could offer. But everything that he could, we saw no duplicity, no trickery, and he shared all information that we could possibly ask for. So he was a model prisoner.
Okay.
That's basically it.
Make a persuasion check. Sam, did you want to add anything to this?
Nah, you nailed everything.
Okay. So go ahead and make a persuasion check.
I mean, I'll roll because it's persuasion, but at the same time, it's like I'm not really trying to persuade them of anything. It's like, and I'm a little disheartened at this council in that you would release a prisoner that's here for essentially for a life sentence for crime so bad. You would release him and not expect those who are in charge of him to return him. That seems like dereliction of duty to me. But perhaps there's more going on than I can see, and that's outside of my purview. But what I've got is you have damaged your reputation in my eyes.
So the warden explains that yes, he was given a life sentence, and it should he tried to take over Icewind Dale.
But everybody does that.
Right, right. And he was kept here with rather than being executed for his crimes, which is often the case, because they feared retribution from the host Tower of the Arcane, because he is a member of the Arcane Brotherhood in Luskin. That retribution never came. And Velen Harpel kind of interjects. She says, yeah, it's not forthcoming. The host tower has far greater concerns than somebody of Valish Gant's reputation to deal with. They're not coming. So
well, okay, so you're telling me, as I hear it, that this is partly a realpolitik solution to a problem that no longer exists, and
exactly
you have to endure costs to keep him here.
Exactly,
and he uses up one of your cells that are you only have a few of them here that are suitable for this type of incarceration. If he is a problem as a prisoner and you don't know what to do with him, may I recommend that you release him to us again a second time for an enhanced test of his character, but remove him from these handcuffs. And we will see if once he's got the capability to escape, will he continue to try to turn over a new leaf and not murder everybody within sight?
So
if that would kind of make your life better, then we're fine with that. He's a fine traveling companion. He doesn't brush his teeth all the time, and his manners aren't the best. But whose are?
So the warden really kind of likes this idea. The council talks amongst themselves, and out of the 4 that are there, the warden and the 3 council members, the only one that votes against this is Kriv Nerexius. And you know that Nerexius pretty much is going to vote no like 100% of the time. Or at least 98% of the time. He just, being a paladin, a lawful good paladin, he's always an excess. But it's like the
imprison everybody. It's the only way to be sure.
Right. Well, it's like the warden says. So they agree that this is a good idea, and the warden says even with life sentences, every year that an inmate is here, they are brought up to the council, and the council discuss whether or not to commute their sentence. This happens yearly. And of course, it was going to be time for Valish Gant to come up for said council meeting. And it was going to be probable that he was going to be turned down until the most recent events where he traveled with you, and your description, your report of his actions on this little endeavor have really worked in his favor. That he didn't cause problems. He didn't try to work against you or escape or any of this. That he was genuinely helpful in the process has really worked to his advantage. And so the council, with the exception of Nerexius, has agreed, they've outvoted him, that this next series is suitable. And so they remove the anti-magic binders from his wrists, and they tell you, the warden tells you, so we're going to leave. You and your party seem to be good judges of Valish Gant's behavior, and he seems to be operating well with you. So, at the end of this, if you deem so responsible, she gives you these anti-magic binders and a key, and she says, if at the end of all of this, you think that he needs to be brought back to Revel's End, throw the binders on him and bring him back. If, on the other hand, you feel that he has been a help to the party, and a help to your your adventure overall, then you can decide amongst yourselves whether or not to release him into the world. That'll be up to you.
All right. We will accept that. And Valish Gant, what we expect from you is for your assistance and operation as a party member for the next I'll say 1 year, and after that you may stay with us, or you're a free man if we don't see anything different. Council, we will let you know what happens if anything significant happens, but we are not responsible. We will try to restrain or contain and return Valish Gant should he fail to be a responsible citizen, but we will not be responsible for him. Instead, because the only way that we can be responsible for someone, you can't be responsible for someone else.
Right.
But we will be monitoring his behavior. If he it does do something outside of what we expect from him in terms of just being a human, then we will attempt to capture or even defeat him in some way so that we can return him. But I am not giving you a guarantee. I will not be responsible for that, but we will attempt it as good citizens to do.
Okay.
And after 1 year, if he's still, everything's great, then he could choose his future like any other human.
The warden and the council agrees. Norixius thinks this is the dumbest thing he's ever heard, but the other council members, they all kind of nod to one another, and they're like, yeah, this is a great idea. And you kind of overhear Jill Torbo whisper to Voss Anderton that she says, and if he's not, if it's known that he's not here, any retribution that may come from the host tower of the arcane will not fall on Revel's end. And Velen Harpel kind of perks up. She says, right, no retribution is forthcoming. Just putting that out there. Don't care about Velascan. So you guys, they resupply you with rations and torches and give you some clean cold weather clothes, and you set off following Velen on your dog sleds with Valish Gant, now a semi-free man, in tow, and you head to the southwest towards Angajuk's Bell. This is along the coastline, as much of a coastline as there is. It's mostly just an ice shelf. But you get there successfully. It only takes you about a week and a half, and you don't suffer any. There's no bad weather events. Of course, you still have the problem of only about 4 hours of real daylight, but you are able to make it after about a week and a half's journey to Angajuk's Bell. The going for the sleds, it's better that you have sleds than not, because it's on the coastline. The winds that kick up, because of the salt water that blows in off the sea of moving ice, the ice shelf here can be very brittle in places and just fall apart like broken glass. So it took you a little bit longer than usual, but you make your way there. Let me find this map. And so here is Angajuk's Bell. I will throw you guys and your sidekicks out here. Here is Sam.
There's a beluga whale.
Yes. And Sam has falling rocks.
That doesn't look like a party member.
Yeah.
Sam, that doesn't look like a party member over there. You might want to back up. That's the bell keeper.
There's Turpin. And you had Boy.
And Gort.
And Gort?
Although, just...
that's right, Gort.
My tactical plans are that Gort is going to be a non-combatant and stay next to me, mostly. I mean, he's a melee guy. Boy's going to be the the attacker guy.
Wasn't Gort the robot from The Day the Earth Stood Still?
Oh yeah. I found some strange gnomish writing, which I can't really read, but in the Dwarvish script, it kind of looks like G-O-R-T. I know that's not what it really says, but I'm calling him Gort.
All right. All right. So there you guys are. Actually, that makes up a pretty good party.
Yeah.
So,
English Gant is over there looking at campsites and stuff like that because he doesn't want to be anywhere near when death starts to.
Yeah, he probably has a healthy regard for ignoring most combat, but he may be useful at some point.
And there's Velen somewhere.
So you arrive at Angajuk's Bell, which is actually a small series of islands. Now, these dotted lines here, if you look up here, it's an arch that goes over this island. And all of this is frozen. And you see that there is a rowboat that is stuck in the ice, trapped against a 10-foot long wooden pier. The pier is ice glazed and slippery. But you don't really need the boat because all of this is frozen all the way out to the island. You can just walk out there. And over here, right, A2, you see a small domed cabin faces the bay. A bloated door covered in ice and dormant barnacles hang slightly ajar on rusted hinges. And Velen points out that she says that it is believed that that cabin was actually the home of a druid named Anga, who it is believed is the one who cast the awaken animal spell on Angajuk.
Mm-hmm.
The cabin, Rime covers every surface in this cabin. Everything and every surface is covered in frost, including a bed draped with a thick knit blanket. Inside there's a small hearth holding a precious store of firewood, although the firewood is infested with worms that have eaten away at the tender parts of the wood, but it is safe to burn. There's enough wood to fuel a nightly fire for 3 days, and it is stored in 6 bundles next to the fireplace, or in the antechamber where they have supplies. Velen comes back out of the cabin and she says, well, I don't think there's any time like the present. And she marches across the island, or across the ice towards the island here at A3. You see that there is another big pier. Well, not really a pier. A 1-foot diameter copper bell hangs from a 10-foot tall wooden pole attached to this short wooden pier. The bell comes with a rope and a clapper, ringing the bell. So she goes over and she grabs it and rings the bell. Both of you make a perception check.
$24 for Turpin.
Nice.
But I'm gonna say it's a boy that saw it.
Okay. What about Sam?
13.
Okay.
What level were we again?
We are 7 at this point. And I think, I didn't check with you, but do sidekicks move up as we do?
They do.
Okay.
So you can roll their, actually.
I think they just, yeah.
Yeah, you can roll their hit dice and add their con modifier to it, and add that to their hit points, if you have not already done so. And so Gort doesn't level up.
Gort does not. No.
But let's see here.
I don't think Boy gains anything.
Actually,
He just gets some hit points.
he might. Let's see here. Level 7. So Boy gets the feature battle readiness. He has advantage on initiative rolls.
But we're not using that because he follows. He's with me.
That's true. That's true. He goes either before or after your turn. And then the expert, Falling Rocks, gets evasion at 7th level.
And that is useful.
Yes. When subjected to an effect that allows it to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, it instead takes no damage if it succeeds on the saving throw, and only half damage if it fails. So, yeah, that's useful.
And the last bookkeeping that I can think of, Sam, you have the Horn of Blasting and a Wand of Web. Oh, he also has that Peewee cloak. The
Peweefi?
The drow.
So yeah, it is a cloak of elven kind. However, if it is subjected to sunlight for an hour or longer, it loses its magical abilities. So,
Yeah.
So are you guys going out to the island with Velen? Or are you hanging back?
Yeah, Gort, Turpin, Gort, and Boyle go out.
Okay. What about Sam and Falling Rocks?
I mean, yeah, I'll go out.
I mean, we just got here, and this was the whole point of coming here, so I'll go look. What the heck?
Okay. So you guys are at this
So
short.
that kobold-looking thing is Velen Harpel?
This thing here is actually Falling Rocks. He's a Kenku.
Falling Rocks. Okay. Oh, that's gotcha. Right. So Velen is invisible.
Yeah, I didn't put her on the map.
Okay. Right. NPC.
Yeah.
Or non-combat.
Non-combat NPC. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Non-combat NPC until I need her to save your ass.
Deus Ex Machina.
Right.
It's a bird.
It is a bird.
Oh my! I picked up a spell for flying shit. Do I get to use it?
You might.
I thought I might never use it.
Did you pick up those chains?
I'm not casting it. I'm just posting it to show how brilliant I am to think of something ahead of time.
Nice.
No one gets until they wish they got it.
I was like, hardly ever use this, but I only get like 2 or 3 spells a rest, so why not have a utility thing?
Right. Yeah, that could be potentially a devastating spell for an enemy that flies.
Yeah, but now there's multiples, so it's like, shit.
Right. Yeah, there's that.
And the other one I got is that one.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
There.
that could ruin somebody's day pretty easily too.
Because we're on ice all the time, I thought I could cover up a crevasse or, make the A4 looking pool of water look like it was solid or, some bullshit like that.
So yeah, you come out, Velen comes out and rings the spell. You notice that here there is a large pool of water it doesn't seem like it's been cut through the ice. It seems like it is fairly natural. And And you would only imagine that since she said that this was an awakened whale, that this is probably where it will appear. But as she rings the bell, you see Boy kind of look up towards the sky, and everybody looks up. And this ringing of the bell has apparently informed 3 giant vultures that it is indeed feeding time.
What
So
is it, boy?
everybody
Did
roll.
little Timmy fall in the well?
Everybody roll initiative.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
I'm busy talking to Boy while the birds are eating our faces.
Yeah, that's not good. And what did Sam get?
It's up to you to save
There
us,
we go.
Sam. So roll a good initiative.
Yeah, Sam did all right. So, Sam, you see these 3 giant vultures. What would you like to do?
I will. Wish I didn't see them.
I disbelieve. You take 40 hit points. I disbelieve.
I don't believe that. Yeah.
I'm going to cast.
What? Can you web something that's in the air, or do you have to have places to anchor the web?
I think the web has to have some place to anchor, because essentially web turns an area into difficult terrain, and then if they fail their save, then they're restrained, and so it has to have some place to anchor.
Otherwise, the web's probably just going to be subjected to gravity anyway.
Right.
Just going to go, hey, look, the web.
Yeah, they'll just fly through it, and they'll be like, "Oh, I got a spider web in my hair."
I'm going to cast blindness on. Let's see. This one.
Okay. So, is that a wisdom save?
It is a con.
Con save. Okay.
So, Sam, what makes you think they're bad? What? Maybe we're just out bird watching and they're flying around.
So, the vulture saves or gets a 17 for its save.
All right. I spout some fancy words.
All right. What would you like for Falling Rocks to do?
He is going to attempt to pelt the annoying bird.
Okay.
No.
Does he have a ranged weapon? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, he could use a ranged weapon. They're coming down, so.
Yeah. The first one is a no.
Okay.
15.
That is.
The second one. Cool. And 6 damage.
Okay. Oops, that's not what I wanted.
And then I will give Turpin a Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
I hope I get to roll a saving throw.
That's when inspiration really kicks in, right? Okay. The vultures, this one isn't real happy with the fact that it you attempted to blind it. It comes down, lands on the edge of the dock, and it is going to make 2 attacks on falling rocks. The first attack is its beak attack. It probably misses with an 8. And its talons, oh, come on. It also misses with an 8. So that's that bird. This bird dives down for Sam and is going to make a talon and beak attack. Beak attack, a 6. Boy, this dice is going in the freezer. 23 to hit with talons, which I'm pretty sure hits.
I cast Know You.
The magical spell of owl.
Yeah, yes. So he does 5 points of slashing damage with his talons as he rakes you, and stays there trying to pick at you. Your halfling is going to be his new meal. And this bird is going to come down and attack Turpin. The wolf, or the sled dog, kind of spooks him a bit. He'll deal with the sled dog in a bit. So the beak attack, oh, come on, misses with an 8. 11 to hit.
Ooh, I have 12 because I'm next to Gort. He sticks out his robotic hand and partially deflects the claw.
Okay, see, Gort's useful already.
Yeah, I have a 10, and that bumped me to 12. Holy crap!
So,
Gort!
So Turpin, what would you like to do?
Well, all right, so this is probably an inappropriate use of this, but, you know, we've prepared these tactics, and it's a good time to test them. So I'll say, sick 'em, boy, and that is the command word for Gort to cast the stored spell, because Gort has that.
Okay. Right.
And boy turns into a giant ape.
Oh, shit.
Yes, I told you, this is inappropriate.
Okay.
For this a burning spell that I don't need to burn, but hey, whatever. This is we're gonna
Gotta
see
make
if
sure
we
it
work
works
together.
before you need it.
So Gort, let me see. I think the Guardian cast the spell. Blah 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 blah. So that was what. So that's Gort's thing, and boy, who is now poofs up and into gigantic proportions, takes this one that's next to me and does an ape slap for 15.
That hits.
And so he takes, I think it's 22 is just the standard. There's no roll, it's just 22 in the
Really?
monster thing.
So Boy slaps this giant vulture and kills it outright. Just slaps it upside the head, and you hear a sickening crack, and this bird falls limp to the ground.
Well, Boy is now gigantonormous, and that he has multi-attack. Can he take a step over here and smack that one? So
yeah.
All right, so that was the slap, and here's the second one, the punch, and it does. So this is just so OP.
This is ridiculous. Let's see here, giant ape.
Yeah, you need to check it out. I'm like, oh my god.
So yeah, the bludgeoning damage, 22 is the average, but the damage is 3d10 plus 6.
I can put the roll in if you want, but it was in parentheses, so I just
that's fine. And he can throw a rock, which does 30 points of damage average. It's 76 plus 6 if he throws a rock.
Range.
On the rock, the range, 50 is normal range. 100 feet would be long.
It's like 50
So
feet.
51 to 100, he would be at disadvantage. But I mean,
Yeah, but even so, I mean, 50 feet is pretty dang
That's-
good for
yeah.
a monster throw.
yeah. I think like a light crossbow or a sling is like 60/100. So
Well, you get, I mean, like bows and stuff have long bows and stuff. They have crazy ranges.
right, but like
Just for a monster that can throw something, that's pretty damn good.
yeah, but a crossbow or a longbow doesn't do 76 damage either. So
Yeah.
you know he's throwing a Buick at people. So 50 feet's pretty good.
So anyway, he smacks the one that hurt Sam upside the head.
Okay.
And that's the end of his multi-attack.
What do you get for his attack?
He got a 19.
Okay, so this vulture also dies. And just kind of...
And just hops up and down in glee. It worked! It worked!
So the weird thing about this, I looked over the spell storing. That doesn't require Gort to make an action. So Gort can move and attack if Gort wanted to.
Well, not going to do that. Gort is going to protect Turpin. It does say something like, when commanded by the wearer or a situation that's my definition was when I say Sick'em Boy, that's the...
Right, but that's a free action. And the action came in already in the past when you cast the spell to store it inside Gort. So your free action, the spell goes off basically as a free action.
Yeah, we're talking about mechanics here. It says the Guardian casts the spell with any parameters requiring no components. Well, the parameters included an action.
Right. Okay. So if it was okay. So if it was the action would be actually casting the spell. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. So but Gort's not going to do jack anyway. He's protecting me.
Okay.
So it's just too ridiculous to have that kind of firepower going off.
So Sam, you see this giant ape come up and ring slap this vulture, and it just kind of slips and falls off into the pool of water. What would you like to do?
I'm going to wonder what's happening. And to accept that.
I don't know if I like this. I don't know what's going on.
Why is that giant ape wiggling its butt like a happy dog?
I'm going to accept. I don't need to know what's going on right now. I can figure that out later. And I'm going to cast a very vicious mockery.
Okay. 15 to save.
Yeah, that saves.
Okay.
And then Mr. Rocks is gonna give a good old whack with a 21
That hits.
and a 15.
And that hits.
Seven and 7. So 14.
Okay. Those are some pretty mighty hits. The vulture is still up, though. It is going to beak and talon at Falling Rocks. Nat 20 for the beak. Max damage for 17 points of piercing damage. And then he's going to talon, but he only gets 12. He blew his wad on the beak. Turpin, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna stand there and let boy.
Let's pummel this bird to death.
Yeah, let's see. Now, boy is what's the status here? So there's okay. So Sikkim boy is the key phrase, and I put the stats for an ape. And anybody that read my backstory on boy knows that he's kind of gotten a little mean streak in him now.
Yeah.
And so he really likes this, but so boy's going to do a grab on, let's see, which I think is plus, strength is +6. So he's going to try to grab the bird. So his attack for a grab is terrible. And
yeah, that fails.
And that's it. And Turpin doesn't want to see him get hurt any worse because.
Does Turpin want to?
So Turpin will shoot.
I was going to say Eldritch Blast.
Wait a minute, hang on. This is really cool. I rolled
a nat 1 twice.
I want to see if that actually is. Let's see. Yeah, twice, 2 natural ones. Let me see if that's.
Oof.
Okay, good. It's not broken. All right.
Oof.
Sometimes the equations get broken. Yep.
So
So shoot Gort.
you go to throw your Eldritch Blast and you trip and fall and you slip on the ice and land on your butt. Did you want Gort to do anything?
Yes, he's going to help me up.
Okay.
Because I'm old.
So Gort comes over to help you up. Sam, what would you like to do?
You'll feel the wrath of my rapier.
Okay. So you're going to take your 5-foot step and stab him. When spells fail, stabby always works.
25.
That hits.
5 damage.
Okay, and you stab the vulture through the neck, and he dies.
I killed something.
Yay! Boy reaches over and picks up the corpse and squishes it in his hands and chunks it in the water.
Velen kind of was hiding, like literally hiding in the bell, and she comes out and she rings the bell one more time, and then she looks at the rest of you and she says, "All right, well, I guess now we just wait." She says, "There's no need for us to be uncomfortable. We could always go and wait inside the stone cabin, have a small fire, maybe grab something to eat. I don't know how long it'll take for Angajuk to show, but we don't have to sit out here on the ice sheet."
I think I need to play with my dog for a little bit here, because and boy is as I'm drawing it, he's up here on the top of this thing.
Okay. Yeah.
There.
King Kong. Yes. So you guys are just going to stay out by the small lake or the hole?
At least for a little while. Yeah. Boy needs to work it out of his system, so he does King Kong beat on his chest thing.
Right. So that spell lasts for an hour.
15 minutes, we'll cut it off. It's almost everything I do uses concentration, so that's a concentration spell.
Right. Okay. So where did these?
I said, "Get down here, boy. Heal."
Okay. As you're sitting around waiting, it hasn't even been the 15 minutes, so boy is actually still a giant ape. and you see a group moving their way out onto the ice sheet. All of these guys are wearing modern, when I say modern made cold weather gear. They obviously bought these in town or in the city somewhere. Probably in the city. They don't look like this was stuff that was purchased in any of the 10 towns. This is fairly high-end gear. And they make their way out onto the ice sheet. They are all armed with big metal hooks and rope with harpoons on it. And they are making their way towards the island. And the man at the front he's got a long, thick black beard, and yeah, this guy, and he, whoops, probably hope if I'm on the right layer. He doesn't seem to be too, intimidated by Boy, who is still a giant ape. These men, on the other hand, are all at disadvantage. They do not want to get close to that. They've never even seen one, and they don't like it. And even as exuberant and happy as Boy seems right now, it just seems to scare them more. This guy comes up. His name is Gendron. He says, have you rang that bell already?
Well, yes. We have. Well met, stranger.
Says, oh, good. Well met to you.
What brings you here?
Well, we were going to ring that bell, and we're going to hunt us a whale and get some of that sweet, sweet ambergris. It'll sell for a pile of gold back in Luskin.
Oh, well, we may have a conflict because, as I understand it, that whale has been awakened, and not only that, he's serving people in this area, doing a job, transporting them.
They'll find another whale. I mean, this guy cares. All this guy cares about is ambergris. Of course, is used by perfumers. And also, it is a common ritual component for a lot of spells. Spellcasters use them. So this guy is seeing just dollar signs, and he's thinking that by telling whoever's going to purchase this, that it came from a magically awakened whale, is going to increase his profits 100-fold. All of these guys are seeing nothing but cash. He says, well, I'm sure they can cast a awaken spell on another whale or whatever. But this one's going to be ours. You can join us. We'll cut you in.
No, you need to leave. Find yourself a different whale. We've already claimed this one, and it's not worth getting into a fight with us. Right, Boy? Yeah.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check with advantage.
Okay. I clicked the button. Oh, 21.
Okay. Well, he is suitably intimidated. And, Boy is, at this point, Boy is by your side and growling as a giant ape. And all of these guys take, 3 steps back, and Gendron says, well, I suppose we can hunt another whale. Come on, boys. Maybe we can come back another time. And they wander off.
Good work, boy.
That's not what I wanted. So these guys take off. They are not going to, they're smart enough to not want to deal with that. You wait about another half an hour.
Kid Boy is an A during this time. That's 45 minutes so far.
Okay.
Just because I don't know if those guys are going to come back.
Right. So you wait about another half an hour, and suddenly you can see the water in the pool start to kind of wave and circle around, and then you see the whale sign of a blow spout blowing up through the water, and you see the prow of a boat come up out of the water, and this whale's head kind of sticks up, and he says, "Well, I haven't had visitors in a while. What can I help you with?"
Talk to him, Sam.
Sam?
He may have had to walk away.
So yeah, this whale comes up. I haven't had visitors in a while. What can I help you folks with?
It's a good thing. Well met. And I forget what his name was.
Angajuk.
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 Angajuk. Ah, yes, it's well met, Angajuk. I am, and I proceed to introduce all the various moving parts of our party, and say, we've come here to see if we could convince you to take us somewhere, but as we were waiting, after ringing the bell, it turned out that nearly a dozen men showed up that were looking to kill you as if you were just a wild beast, and you should definitely be extremely careful. And I hope you have some way of knowing if they're there or defending yourself.
Oh, I have my ways. I thank you, friends, for helping me. I would be very happy to help you get to wherever it is that you need to go. Where is it that you're wanting to travel? And Velen tells him that she needs that the party needs travel to the Island of Solstice. And he says, "Oh, I can get you there." And so he kind of bows his head down, and before he goes underwater, he says, "Well, please step onto my boat."
Well, thank you. And Boy is now a doggy.
Okay.
And badunga dunga dunga, we all get on the boat.
Okay. You get on the boat, and Angajuk dives. And I have something for this.
I store my rapier, get out the harp, and play a lovely little tune.
A traveling song.
A little sea shanty. So he dives underwater, and you're all in this boat. And as the boat submerges, a magical bubble comes up around. You find that you can breathe underwater as easily as you can on land, and it is perfectly dry. You're very comfortable. This boat looks like it can hold about 8 to 10 people. And he dives underwater, and you look around, and you can see that Angajuk doesn't travel alone. There are a number of narwhals and dolphins that are joining him, a couple of seals, and they swim along in a pod with Angajuk.
Cool.
The flip side, of course, is that Angajuk doesn't take a direct route. The journey actually takes 6 days to get to the Island of Solstice, and he meanders throughout the sea of moving ice, and kind of acts like a tour guide. Oh, this over here was a sea galleon from Luskin that sank many years ago. I always find this to be rather interesting. Or he'll swim past some ruins, and oh, these are ruins of the ancient giant empire, long buried under the sea. You see all manner of things, until he finally brings you to the Island of Solstice. And after 6 days, now I've got a number of maps here.
We all become uncomfortably familiar with each other during those 6 days on that little boat.
Right. Yes. Kind of feels like the whaling trip we went on in Boston.
Yep.
It just went on and on and on.
And the restroom is to basically stick your tushy out in the ice cold water.
Right. Yes. Yes. And so this is an overview map of the island. And Angajuk brings you to this small pier. Well, I say small pier. It's not small. This pier is built for giants. But both Turpin and Sam, make perception checks.
Is this something I would prepare for, or is this just like, yeah, I see something?
It would be, yeah, I see something. Nice.
23.
14.
Okay, so both of you, as you're coming in, you can see that there are a couple of shipwrecks right here. And you see that as you get closer to this island, you see, as you're coming in, you see that there are actually a number of shipwrecks that you can just see off in the murky distance. Angajuk tells you there are shipwrecks all around this island. This was a stronghold for a giant queen, a frost giant queen.
Oh, cool. Can he take us by like that first one that's really close? Because a ship that's sized for giants would be truly interesting.
Yeah, I can do that for you. Hold on here. Let me see which shipwreck this is.
I'm all excited talking to Valish Gant about, that I've heard that there are some rituals that I can learn that allow me to operate underwater, and this would be fascinating. This has just been so cool.
So
I'll have to learn that when I get back.
This shipwreck isn't actually completely underwater. And so he brings you and lets you up off onto this ice shelf here, because he can't get closer.
Right. But the dimensions on this thing are suitable for like 20-foot tall beings, right?
Right. This boat is huge.
Yeah, Turpin easily gets distracted sometimes.
Hey, why not?
After 6 days.
Yeah, you guys probably all want to get up and stretch your legs.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So, this is the, there's like a small, it looks like there was a small dock built here. You see that the dock is actually made of a mixture of broken off pieces of this, this ship, and some of the dock looks like it's actually carved out of ice. So somebody tried to do some salvage work here. Somebody that had some magical ability. But aside from, and you can see that up on this ridge, this ridge here is 10 feet up from the water and the ice shelf, and it seems like there is a small camp there. But you don't see any signs of life around here.
Yeah, and before we abandon Angajuk, just in case, say, well, you know, I'll make sure that I know how that we can come back to him.
So he tells you that he'll wait and then ferry you from this small little island of icebergs over to the giant dock so that you can get onto the island proper. And then he plans to wait around, and he will swim around the island. But he warns you to not take too long. There's a rock that flies this area that tries to hunt him. So
yes.
So he will wait around and for as long as he can until you're able to until you come back and you're finished.
Uh-huh. A rock. Hey Sam, do you know the spell Bane? Because it's going to be hard to bring a rock down should we ever encounter it, but because it's so strong. But if you hit it with, I think, Bane, and I hit it with a Mind Sliver, I think that with that kind of prep, we can use Earthbind to pull it to the ground.
Of course I know Bane.
Okay.
Naturally. So,
okay, so let's explore this, guys. I haven't walked in 6 days. And Turpin casts, or I don't think it's a cast. I use my ability to fly, and I just hover above the ground just by tiny bits of distance, because I say walk, but I'm old. Screw walking.
okay.
Quotation marks, walk.
Yeah. Ah. I get to breathe air, fresh air, and you know, I wouldn't normally worry about it, but I don't want to fall in the water, and I don't want to have to climb this 10-foot cliff.
Where would you like to go, Sam?
We're just gonna be falling behind.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming that this blue fuzz is kind of thin ice, and that there's open water.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
But the water here is not very deep. As you can see, this ship here. So the problem that you're seeing with the Island of Solstice is that the island itself is actually just a big iceberg, and the ice juts out at irregular locations under the water. And this particular giant longboat had made the mistake of thinking that the area was clear when it was not, and it got basically stuck on this sharp jut of ice that was under the water, and it ran aground. Turpin, make a perception check. Nice. So you can see over here that there seems to be, it looks like a frozen body that is mostly covered in snow and ice, but you can just make out the presence of a frozen hand sticking out of the snow.
Guys, it looks like there was a camp here, and there may be some casualties. Come on up here. And effortlessly, I float up to the top.
Okay.
And I try to hide my grin from everybody.
Go ahead and make a strength athletics check for Boy and for Gort.
Oh, God. I don't think I'm supposed to be having this much fun. This was Gort,
Okay.
and this is Boy. Boy has some trouble.
Yeah, Boy's having a little bit of a hard time getting up.
So I'll use my telekinesis to help.
Okay.
So he can have advantage on another try.
Sam, are you going to climb up? What would you like to do?
There's a stairway over here, isn't there?
There is a dock made of ice and leftover timbers from this sunken longship.
I'm gonna try and just walk over there and take the stairs.
Okay.
Well, that's too commonsensical. I didn't want to step on this fuzzy area. Of course, I can fly, so I don't know why I would care.
So, what about
Just
falling
saying I
rocks?
can fly.
Rox is gonna try and climb up.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength athletics check for rocks.
Uh, 17.
Okay, so rocks doesn't have a problem. And Boy, after kind of having some problems, he's finally able to get up as well. Sam, make a dexterity saving throw.
That's not a problem. 24.
Okay, so you prevent yourself from slipping on the ice and falling into the extremely frigid water. And you make your way over to this dock and kind of climb up onto it. And make a perception check.
15.
You see, in the water, you can see movement under the water. No,
And it's not Angajuk
and it's not Angajuk. Hold on here.
or his narwhal friends.
Let's go upstairs.
Yeah. Oh, snap.
Let's go back downstairs.
No.
Swimming up from the bottom of this wrecked longship, two frost giant skeletons come swimming up. They saw your movement, they saw you catch yourself on the ice, and they move into attack. Hold on here.
Run, Sam.
That's the plan.
But because you made your perception check, you are not surprised.
I don't think that matters.
You're so positive.
I get the feeling nothing surprises Sam.
Yeah. Okay. Both of you can roll initiative.
12 for Turpin and friends.
Okay. So.
Sam, no, Sam.
No,
No, Sam.
Sam. So the Frost Giant skeleton. They're probably going to go for the easy target. So this one is going to come over, and he climbs his way up onto the edge of this dock, and he's going to swing his well, the first thing he's going to do is he stares at Sam. Sam, you need to make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw.
Right. Now, does a 4 win?
No.
Damn.
You take 35 points of cold damage, and you are paralyzed until the end of your next turn.
I'm at
Holy
11 now.
crap.
This Frost Giant... Nope, not that one. That Frost Giant steps up this 10-foot embankment like it's a step on a set of stairs, and is going to make 2 great axe attacks on falling rocks. 18 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. $25 points of slashing damage. And his second hit, 13 to hit.
Yep.
It does hit?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
It's 13 AC.
$24 points of slashing damage.
Awesome.
How's Falling Rocks doing?
About half health.
Oof. Well, that could be worse.
Yeah, that could be me.
That could be you. Turpin, what would you like to do?
Sick 'em boy. And that's so there's Gort's action, and I will tell Gort to meet me down here to rescue Sam when you can. So
Okay.
that's my spoken part. And so boy gets all humongous, and he's like he's huge at this point.
Right.
Gigantic thingy.
So he's the same size as the Frost Giant.
Yeah. So he tries to draw the attention of the Frost Giant away from our poor little sidekick there. And goes pow, pow. Oh, wait, hang on. What? Okay, I'm going to redo all that because I had advantage clicked.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Boom, boom. So a 22 and a 13. So the 22 should hit.
22 hits.
Okay, so he takes 22 points of damage.
Okay.
And Gort, who has taken his action, but can still move. And so Gort's movement is 30.
Okay.
And 30 is about to there. So he moves over to here and takes any attack of opportunity from the Frost Giant.
Okay.
He's a stupid robot.
13 to hit probably misses Gort.
Yeah, he's a 17 armor class. And Turpin will use his move. 30 feet. Oh, nope, I don't want to move my character. I want to measure. 30. Yeah, we'll do it like that. So he'll move over here and zap this one while he yells at him. And
Okay.
calls him a frozen corpse that should stay dead. Or something like that. Your mama. What is it with me rolling a 1 on my Eldritch Blast?
I don't know.
Damn. All right. So, there we go.
So the 17 hits.
And I act all like, I'm juicy and deserve to be killed.
Full of vitality.
Much better prey than Sam over there.
Okay, so you did 9 points.
And that's the end of all of my Princeton turn.
Whoops, that's not what I wanted. That's better. The one you rolled with your Eldritch Blast actually hits the frozen ice dock. And Sam, the dock kind of shakes and you can see cracks form through it, but it holds.
I need to find another ranged attack.
You need to stop rolling ones.
Well, I mean, like psychic damage or something,
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, take a book out of my.
I'm gonna use was it mocking terms or words or yo mama jokes?
Yeah, yo mama jokes. Yeah. Sam, what would you like to do?
Nothing.
He's gonna stand there and freeze.
Nothing?
Well, he's paralyzed.
Paralyzed.
Oh, that's right. You're paralyzed. All right. What would you like Falling Rocks to do?
He's gonna cunning action, disengage, and go this way.
Okay.
I mean, he can still do that, but the reaction has been used up by Gort going by.
That's true. He doesn't have to use disengage because the frost giant skeleton has no reaction.
He's gonna still go that way. And help the one down here.
He's going to what?
He's gonna shoot the one down there.
Okay.
13.
13 is a 19 hits.
8 damage.
Okay. Okay. Frost giant skeleton. Well, this one is going to make 2 great axe attacks at advantage. Oh, wait, you're not paralyzed anymore, so he no longer has advantage.
I don't think it matters. One of them's gonna hit and take me down.
Well, let's see. 17 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
Next time we all climb up onto the rock, you climb up on the rock too.
Mm-hmm.
So that is 21 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. So Sam is down. Oops. Wrong guy. I keep clicking the wrong button. There we go. The frost giant skeleton is going to move out here, and he's going to take a swipe through the air with his second attack at Turpin. And miss with an 11.
Actually, no, that hits.
11 hits?
Is too far. Gort's too far away to protect me.
Oh. Okay.
Only when he's adjacent to me can he give me 2 armor class.
Okay. Oof.
Don't worry about it. Gort still protects me.
20.
We share or hit points.
29 points of slashing damage.
All right, so I take 14. And Gort takes 15.
Okay.
Because of a Gort ability right here.
This giant uses his freezing stare on Boy. Boy needs to make a DC 13 Constitution saving throw. Oh, shit. So Boy takes 35 cold damage and is paralyzed until the end of Turpin's next turn. Which, I guess that didn't do a whole lot for him because Turpin goes next.
So how many points did he take?
35.
35.
Hold on just a moment here. Velen Harpel produces a wand of magic missile and releases 4 darts. In here.
Wow. I'm just rolling for pretending to roll for my death saves. This die wants me dead.
And deals 15 points of damage to this one. And Valish Gant is going to do...
Hides in the tent.
Probably, but you might be surprised.
A finger points out from the tent and a fireball shoots out.
Possibly. Let's see here. I need to find him. Because I know he's got some stuff. Boy, Watsy, an index sure would be nice. Just saying.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Baelish. I will just use this. Actually. He does. He casts Fireball. But he casts it out towards the end of the boat here. So it's just going to miss Turpin. Frost Giant fails with a 4. And is going to take 8d6 fire damage. for 29 points of fire damage. And he yells, and yeah, he's kind of hiding inside the tent, and he yells out, he says, "You're welcome!" And we are back to Sam.
Alright, what did he do? I just got back. Food.
So Valish Gant had climbed up and was hiding in the tent, stuck his finger out and cast Fireball right here. So it just missed Turpin and Sam, but the Frost Giant took 29 points of fire damage. So Sam, what would you like to do? Oh, you need to make a death save.
3 on my fail, on my death save.
You're gonna stay dead.
So that's your first fail. What would you like Falling Rocks to do?
He's going to shoot this one.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah. 14.
14 hits.
Oh. And the second one was a 22.
And that's a hit.
That's 7 plus 4 is 11.
Okay.
I should really give him an item.
Yeah.
Majority of the time, I can't use the ones I have.
Maybe a wand of healing.
Give him the horn of blasting. That way it doesn't blow up in your face.
Yeah, he can actually take the damage.
All right. Frost Giant Skeleton, the one that's like on fire, is going to swing twice on Turpin.
Hit.
28 to hit.
10 would have done it.
And 15 to hit. So he hits both times. So the first hit is 33 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
The second hit $27 points of slashing damage.
Splitting this is tough. 20. So you said.
The first one was 33. The second one was 27.
I'm just gonna add them together. 33 and 27 is 60.
Uh-huh.
That's 60. 30 from Gort. Okay, accounting is done.
Okay. This one is going to take 2 swipes on Boy.
With advantage.
No, it ended up at the end of your last turn. So, but he gets a soft 20 to hit. Second attack is only a 14.
Ape's armor class is 12.
Okay, so he hit twice. I'm just going to use average. So that's a total of 50 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Got it.
Turpin, what would you like to do?
Say, screw you, attacking an old man, you undead piece of crap, and I'm going to fly up like 40 feet in the air or 50 feet in the air where the piece of shit can't get me anymore, which is going to give it a reaction attack.
Yes.
Opportunity attack.
15 to hit.
Yep.
29 points of slashing damage.
All right. So that is. Mayor Gort, suck it up. You go. All right, so now I am high and out of range, and I'm going to say, Gort, get Sam to safety. So Gort will move down to here and position Sam behind him.
Okay.
So I'll just move my Gort here, even though he can't really move that far. But Gort is in between.
Does Sam have any healing potions left?
I don't know, but Turpin's up in the air, and he really wants to protect himself. But first things first, he'll do spare the dying on Sam.
Okay.
And so shake it off, boy.
So spare the dying leaves them with 0 hit points, but they are stable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he can. I don't know. I mean, if you're at 0, all you can do is stabilize, right? You can't come back.
Right. He's unconscious.
He needs something to give him a point.
Yes.
So
which is why I asked. That's why.
Range is touch.
That's why I was at. Oh, spare the dying's range is touch.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll have to have. I'll say Sarah.
Okay. Yeah, Sarah can do that.
Save Sam. Boom.
Okay, so Sarah flies over and touches Sam. Since she's your familiar, she can touch him, and you can channel the magic through her. And so Sam is at 0 hit points, but unconscious. But I was asking if Sam has any potions, because Gort could reach into Sam's pack and pour a potion down his throat.
Yeah, that's the plan. And if he can do that this round, he will. Otherwise, he'll do it next round.
Okay. So, and you said you've got 1 superior?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Sam, you can roll 8d4 plus 8 for hit points.
Hey, Turpin, can you roll that? I don't trust myself to roll that anymore.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a computer, so we'll see. 8d4 plus 8?
Correct.
Oh, man, I could have just clicked I already had this made. Oh, well, whatever.
There you go. 27 hit points. And just like that, Sam's back in the action.
And that's 1 point less than the statistical average. Anytime you're rolling more than like 4 dice, just the average, man, it's like ridiculous. But it's
some of these are ridiculous. Yeah. So Sam, what would you like to do now that you're?
I'm going to cast Fly on myself.
Okay. You are now flying.
And go roughly to Turpin's level of height and wave it.
Okay.
We're crazy high because these things are gigantic, right?
Yeah, they're huge. They're the same size as Boy.
So you got to get up out of King Kong's reach. Or Mighty Joe Young, I guess. King Kong varies too much.
And I'm going to give Turpin some good old bardic inspiration. be inspired.
Okay.
This off.
All right.
Good old rocks.
Back over here near where Falling Rocks is, Velen unleashes another 4 darts on the Frost Giant.
What about Falling Rocks' turn?
Oh, that's right. What would Falling Rocks like to do?
He's gonna shoot.
Go for it. Is he going to shoot the same one he's been shooting at?
He's gonna try. He's not gonna succeed, but he's gonna try. He's gotten 10 and 13.
Both of those miss. The magic missiles. Do another 13 points of damage to this one. Okay. And Valish Gant does sends 4 magic missiles to this one. For 14 damage.
That would have been my guess. Because that's the average.
Right, yeah. Okay. The Frost Giants, let's see. This one is going to take 2 swipes at Boy. Again. $14 hits. Oh. His second swipe, he overswings and falls prone. Whoops. But the swipe that hit, he does 25 points of slashing damage to Boy.
Okay. Boy's in a frenzy and doesn't seem to even care, but he's cut up pretty good.
This one looks up in the air at you two, realizes he can't reach you, and he's going to take his frustrations out on Falling Rocks and take 2 swings.
No.
25 to hit, and another 25 to hit. So
I think the first 25 might miss. Second one, though, that's for sure.
Falling Rocks takes 50 points of slashing damage.
Well, I'm sure he's fine.
Is he still up?
Good math.
Is he still up, really?
Yes.
Wow. I'm
You're
impressed.
kidding, really? Oh, wow.
I remember some of these rolled like just amazing for their hit points. I was like, man, I wish some of the player characters could roll that well for hit points.
He is almost not, but he's hanging in there.
Okay. All right. Turpin, what would you like to do?
I will.
Now, something to keep in mind, Boy has advantage on making an attack on this guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Boy is total in frenzy mode and is going to beat the snot out of him like King Kong on a villager's wall. Turpin's going to get to where his altitude and his the hypotenuse from his direction to these guys is maxed out. As far as he can go. So he's gonna move away another 30 feet. Some of it's vertical because flying. What can I say?
Right.
And And he's going to, well, he'll wait just a second for Boy to take out his frustration. So
Okay.
Boy just pounds the crap out of him with one hand and then the second hand, and 17 and 27.
Both of those hit.
And that's 44 because they're both just the standard 22s.
Okay, that really hurt.
So Boy is just loving this part. Like, rah,
Yeah, so this skeleton is starting to fall apart, but he's not quite dead yet.
He's doing WWE moves on this thing. And that's Boy. And Sam is now flying. So I say, Gort, go help Falling Rocks. So Gort is going to move about there. Oh, he can do a dash. So, because he can't do jack from where he is. So he'll get over into combat area. But he doesn't really care about this one. He's trying to help Falling Rock. And I will zappity zap zap. I don't want to mess with the one Boy's having fun with, so I'll zap that other one.
Okay.
So, pow. Yay, I didn't blow the tip of my finger off. Pow.
Both of those hit, and that 29 is a nat 20.
Like 10, 20, 30, 42.
Oof. You blast this one into bone dust, and it goes down in a crumble of bones and leather. All right. Is there anything else? I think that's...
No. My team is done.
Your army? Sam.
Yeah, I know. It's just ridiculous.
Sam, what would you like to do?
Let's fly over here. Let's just moderate.
All right. 13.
Take my 7.
Ooh. So, if skeletons could bleed, you would see blood coming out of the nose and ears of this skeleton. But they can't bleed. This skeleton is not looking good. It
has disadvantage on its next attack.
It is going to make one attack at disadvantage on Boy and one attack at disadvantage on Gort.
Falling rock. I mean,
oh, that's right. You get the falling rocks. That's right.
Still hanging on with his poor health.
Yeah.
Walk over there and slash the crap out of it.
Falling rocks could end this.
It's prone. You got advantage.
Yeah, if you walk over to it, you have advantage on attacks.
Let's run over. The first attack is a 12.
That's a miss.
18.
That hits.
Take this. 6.
That is
Damage.
more than enough. And the skeleton crumbles to the ground.
Holy crap, that sucked.
Out of the...
Spend another 6 days on the whale.
Yeah. I'm regretting needing to take a walk. From the tent, Valish Gant steps out and he says, you'll probably want to come over here and look at this. And as you make your way over to the tent, he kind of nudges the frozen corpse under the snow and he says, this poor bastard, I think the frost giant skeletons must have got him. But luckily for us, he did find some precious loot. And in this tent, you see that there is a frozen over chest. Would Falling Rocks like to make a lockpick check with Thieves' Tools?
Absolutely.
And he gets double proficiency for his dex, or double proficiency plus dex because he has expertise.
27.
Yeah, he's able to unlock it. The first thing that you find in this chest are 3 potions of superior healing.
Well, we can use those.
Yay, I replaced my 1 potion with another potion. That gave us 0.
Yeah, we just had to have our kidneys yanked out through our mouths in order to cycle our inventory.
The next thing that you find, there is a ring.
Ooh.
Does anybody have identify or
Hang on, I think
Golden ring? Is it a wedding ring?
I have a ritual that I can do it, but Valish may be able to cast it. I don't know, but within 15 minutes or so, we can figure it out.
Okay. So you determine that this is a ring of warmth. It does require attunement. While wearing this ring, you have resistance to cold damage. In addition, you and everything you wear and carry are unharmed by temperatures as low as minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Certainly not something that Turpin needs. And boy is a Malamute, so
he's already got
Arctic.
Yeah, he's already got resistance to cold.
So what about Falling Rock?
Or Sam.
Or Sam. Or the attunement thing is a high price to pay, but
Yeah, but you guys don't have a whole lot that you're attuned to, so
I'm not doing too bad. I've got boots, and
you've got 3 slots, so.
Oh, and a rod of Pack Keeper. I may be full up. The Amulet of the Shield Guardian is probably attunement too.
No.
Oh.
No,
Okay.
no attunement for
One
the.
open slot.
So yeah. And then the other thing that you find is a +2 rapier.
Oh, I know where that one's going. We just saw Sam use the rapier for like way better damage than any spell.
And all of this is sitting on a pile of 180 gold pieces.
Okay. Well, what about so as far as the Ring of Warmth, what do you think?
I'm full on attunement.
Okay, let's give it to Valish.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Show good faith. Be like, hey, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so Valish Gant will take a ring of warmth and be more cozy.
Yeah, and if anybody's going to really truly appreciate it other than me, with my old bones, I would think it would be the indolent or the
Yes.
Sybaritic Valish Gant.
Yes. He is quite thankful for that.
I'm sure he can rebuild all of his loot and stuff soon. But hey, while we're in the freezing cold here, stay warm.
Okay.
All right. So that Sam gets the rapier. Baelish gets that. Sam, why don't you just take the 3 superior healings? I think I've got.
I'm gonna use them within the week.
Well, that's essentially it. Yes. I'm still pretty full up. I've got 3 superiors. I have no. We bought some regulars, but I don't have any of those left. So you get those. Now, what's the status of the chest itself?
It was waterlogged, and then it wasn't kept near the fire, so it's frozen.
Okay, screw that.
So you guys make your way back to Angajuk and climb back on the boat. I'm going to assume that you want to take a long rest. Is that safe to say?
Uh-huh.
And he dives under the water, and you guys are able to take a long rest.
All right, so we got undead giant monsters out here. So what kind of spells or abilities? What's our tactics against undead? Because that sucked.
Yeah, frost giant skeletons
won't work against them. I got a detect thoughts. That's gonna really get them.
Yeah, not a whole lot rattling around inside a skeleton's skull.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the best thing that I can do is have Boy beat on them and try to draw their attention away.
Damage-wise, the best thing I could do is stab them, which is not something I'm wanting to do.
Well, yeah, I think having Boy try to tie them up and keep them beaten on him is our best tactics instead of having them come after us. How did that freeze work, Sam? I saw you get paralyzed? What caused that?
It just looked at me.
Is it something like?
And I couldn't move.
Were you looking at it? Is it an eye to eye? If we don't look at it, are we okay? Or is it just
nope.
Screwed if it can see you?
If it can see anybody within 60 feet, it can do a freezing stare.
Okay. Well, then I can create darkness and protect myself and anybody else that's in there from that attack. But you can't see. I'll tell you what, Sam, if you can fly, which, by the way, is freaking awesome, we can both draw ourselves out of combat, get up really high, and I can stay in the darkness and you can dip in and out. Float out, make an attack, float back in, be protected.
I can only do it once a day.
Oh,
hard.
Yeah, and I can't have Boy can't be big and the darkness at the same time for me either. All right. Life sucks.
So yeah, after you complete your long rest, you awaken, and the boat section on the back of Angajuk's back is up out of the water, and you hear Angajuk say, "I thought I'd better drop you at this ruined dock. I don't want you to get in any more trouble." And you see that there's this dock. It is clear to you that this is a dock built by frost giants. It is a dock made out of ice and obviously built to endure. But because the dock was scaled for frost giants, you have to climb up to the top of this dock. I mean, it's up there. So using climbing equipment, you're able to, or flying, you're able to get the party up onto this dock. And the dock, there is what looks, at the end of the dock, there is what looks like a cobblestone path. But the cobblestones instead are giant bricks of frosted ice that are covered with rime. And these are like giant sized cobblestones. So these things are like 20 by 20 feet in size that make up this road. And the road is like 40 feet wide. And you see that it meanders off into the distance. And popping up at the end of the road, at the end of the dock where this road starts, you see an ice mephit kind of blink into existence. And the ice mephit looks at you and starts speaking in Auran. Does any of you speak Aqua or Auran?
Does primordial count?
It does. It does indeed.
Okay.
So
I've got infernal and dwarf, so neither one of them apply.
So Sam, you understand that this ice mephit is telling you that its name is Sopo, and Sopo, he says that he will act as your guide around the Island of Solstice. He tells you he kind of watched from the dock, and he saw that you had explored one of the shipwrecks. He says there are many shipwrecks that surround the island, and they're all full of loot waiting to be claimed. He says the last ship to visit the island crashed off the coast of the island's northwest arm. One survivor managed to pull herself out of the frigid water and climb to the top of the island, but she died before getting any further. And he says the Frostmaiden has created beautiful ice sculptures all over the island. One would weep at the very sight of them, if it were not so cold as to make the tears freeze in one's eyes. He says, be careful, there are Yeti caves on the east side of the island, and there is an abominable Yeti named Korgath who lives among them. And he says, I will guide you. I will guide you. Sopo guide you.
I'm just going to turn to Turpin and say, all right, this thing says it'll guide us. There's Yetis to the east of this island, and there's other ships around the place, probably with death.
Probably more death, you know.
Well, the reason that we're here, I'm reviewing the reason that we're here is it's not the Codicil of White. We're looking for...
Well, you do want the Codicil of White.
Well, yeah, that's our ultimate. But right now we're looking for the Professor Orb. Right? That's why we're on this frickin' island. Netheril, so...
Sam, do you want to ask Sopo about the Professor Orb?
Oh yeah, that is we are. The reason we're here is looking for the Codicil of White, and we should probably find out what he knows about the status of Auril the Frostmaiden, because if we're walking in on a god's I don't know, nap time, that would suck.
Or to be to your benefit, one or the other.
Well, yeah, that's true. I somehow don't think we're going to sneak past a god.
So, translating through Sam, he says about the orb, he says that indeed the woman that climbed up out of the shipwreck onto the island but died on her way carried a strange orb with her. As far as your question about Auril, he says that Auril, each night, she takes to the skies flying on the back of a rock and leaves the island for several hours every night.
Well, orb sounds promising. I can't tell you that I feel confident going up there and slapping a god in the face and saying, "Hey, cut it out. It's cold."
Right. Yeah. Well, keep in mind that's probably going to happen. Sooner or later, that's going to probably happen.
Yeah.
Preferably not that.
So you want him to take you to this corpse with the orb?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Depends. Is it on the east side of the mountain?
it is not. It's on the west side, I believe. What did I say?
You said
Yeah, that's the
northwest.
opposite of Yeti.
Yep, it is up here. So it's going to take some time. Trudging through the ice and snow. It actually only takes you a day of trudging through this ice and snow. You notice that it's peculiar in that there doesn't seem, the weather here seems to be calm. There's no constant blizzards going on. There's no wind. It's like you're in the eye of a storm. And as you're traveling to this, to where the Mephet Sopo is taking you, hold on here, let me find it. Is it this one? Yes, it is this one. As Sopo is bringing you along, a 10-foot wall of ice has been broken down in a few places, leaving gaps through which you can see what appears to be a huge garden of ice sculptures. And these are the ice sculptures.
Oh boy. Yeah, I was just thinking about all the sculptures that like the Medusas keep and stuff like that. Thinking, well, as long as it's abstract art, but no, this is like frozen critters.
Except they're not frozen critters. These are actually carved out or shaped out of literal ice. They're not. These aren't frozen deer and elk and trees. These are just simply made out of ice. They are ice sculptures.
They are just very good workmanship.
Correct. Yeah, these are amazing sculptures. Mid-score, there are humanoid cadavers, pirates, hunters, adventurers, worshippers, and others who fell prey to something that froze them. But the sculptures themselves are actually made entirely of ice. Everybody,
I'm just lucky that a god can't turn somebody into solid ice. That's good news.
well,
Wait a minute.
but wait. As you're marveling at these frozen sculptures, up on the ridge, you hear a terrifying roar as an ice troll makes his way out into the area. Here.
I just turn to the ice Mithra and go, now you told us about Yetis. You didn't tell us about these.
This is totally on you.
So, Sopo, when you say you didn't tell us about these, Sopo looks at you and goes,
Yeah, that's not right. And I say, get clear of any sculptures. Don't damage them. And hopefully that is possible to find a clearing or at least not blast the crap out of sculptures.
Yeah, if you guys are going to be careful to not blast sculptures, then you can definitely do that. So both of you roll for initiative.
Fortunately, I don't have to worry about blasting things because I can't do anything, right? Except apparently initiative.
Yeah, I've rolled a 1, and I forget what the other one was. It was much better than a 1, because what isn't? But this has been a day of low rolls. I've had other days when everything I was touching was 15 or better.
Yeah.
On
the days where you're like,
so
I wish I was in Vegas playing
was...
craps rather than playing D&D.
Yeah.
Valish Gant and Velen Hartbell see this troll, and so I'm sorry, Turpin, you got a 7? Was that right?
Yeah.
Okay. They see this troll, and they're kind of excited. They're like, "Oh, that's an ice troll!" And Valish Gant says, "The heart of an ice troll can be used as a magical item." So this is quite exciting. Sam,
do they regenerate like regular trolls?
Oh, yes. Yes, they do.
Good to know.
So, Sam, what would you like to do? This ice troll is about 55 feet away.
I'm gonna say, any more tricks like this, and you are being shattered immediately.
It says, "Oh no, I not know about this."
Sure. I will.
This is the traditional, the mages, or whatever. They're flipping rapidly.
Yeah, flipping through.
Like, what the hell?
Flipping through spell pages and cards. What can I throw down?
Yeah, little trinkets are falling out of their pockets. They're grabbing scrolls, tossing them on the ground. Useless.
I'm just looking at my page like, no, that's for getting them to fight other things. No, that also gets them to fight other things. No, the only thing they can hit using that is us. Don't want that. Go to cantrips. I guess we go with Vicious Mockery.
All right, so the troll gets a 10 for his save.
6 damage and disadvantage.
Okay.
And that lets good old Rocks.
You mock his potbelly, and it turns out he's exceptionally sensitive to the topic.
Yes. Well, let's see. He has
Actually,
disadvantage. He's
not
marked.
be over there. I'm going to give Turpin Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
Yay.
And then Rocks will shoot. He will shoot again.
Okay.
13.
13's a miss.
And I assume a 7, not 7, 3 plus 9 is also not going to hit.
Correct.
Dang. I would have thought for sure that 9 hit.
The ice troll. Being large. Well, he's not that large, though. So let's see how he does getting down this embankment. Uh-oh. He gets a 9, trips and falls down the embankment and kind of rolls to a stop, prone.
I just realized that I mistook the shield guardian for the troll.
Oh.
I was backing away from the shield guardian.
Well, you can remove if that'll help you.
Okay, I'm gonna go this way then. The whole time I was like, I don't want to be close to this thing. I'm gonna get away from it.
Instead, you're running right for it. Oops, my
Gordon
bad.
feels good about that because it's like, yeah, whoa. He puffs out his chest a little bit.
All right, Turpin, what would you like to do?
I have learned my lesson, and for my bonus, I move way the hell up in the air. I am 30 feet up. That's my move.
Okay.
It's like, screw this. I am not staying where this thing can beat on me. It can throw crap, but that's it. And I will again say, sick 'em, boy.
Okay.
Gort.
So, boy turns into a giant ape.
Yeah. I mean, this is just going to be a recurring theme here. And I need his category, size category is crazy.
Yeah, huge. He's quite large.
He is huge. Yes.
Yeah.
So
40 feet, he can definitely get into combat with this troll, and he has advantage because the troll is prone.
So click on advantage and go beat beat. Pow pow.
Yep, those both hit.
So that's 44.
Okay.
Because each one is 22. And I tell Gort to block access to Sam.
Don't let Sam get the crap beat out of him again. Okay.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay. We're back to Sam.
Vicious mockery.
Okay.
Take my mockery.
Oh, man. He rolled a soft 1.
Oh, good.
7 damage and disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah, Sam, if you ever get in melee combat, I have another polymorph. I'll have to drop it on Boy, but I should probably give it to you so that your hit points are just fake hit points, but it does mean you'll turn into a giant ape and beat the crap out of things.
No, well, yeah.
But it's better than dying.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because actually I don't know if that spell will work on. Don't you have like a? Well, I mean, I guess you can allow it to happen, but I thought changelings had like resistance to polymorph spells or something like that.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I never even paid attention.
I don't know. I'd have to look up the stats on changeling again, but I think they have the ability to kind of like elves are immune to sleep spells.
It has no effect on shape changers.
Yeah, so
if you're a shape changer, I can't even do that.
But there's nothing to stop the changeling from changing into a giant ape. The only downside is that with changelings, when they change shape, they maintain their normal stats. It's not like a polymorph spell.
Oh, right.
Where they actually become the new item. Right. So, Sam, what would you like to do?
I did my very powerful mocking.
Oh, yes, you did your powerful mocking. What about falling rocks?
Shoot.
All right.
No. Shoot. Even more no. Okay.
All right. So the ice troll will spend half of his movement and stand up and act like he meant to do that.
Ta-da!
And he gets to make 3 attacks, 1 with his bite and 2 with his claws, and he's going to attack Boy.
Disadvantage on the first one.
I think he has disadvantage on all of them, doesn't he?
No, just the first attack.
Okay.
Makes.
Ugh. God, this troll sucks. His first attack, he ends up falling prone again. And his next 2 attacks will be at disadvantage because he's making them from lying down. So, claw attack number 1. 17 to hit.
I think that hits the ape. He's 12. Yeah, so, yep. That
Okay.
hits.
So, that is 12 points of slashing damage and 9 points of cold damage.
Okay.
And Boy needs to make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
Let me see here. Boy's constitution is currently 18, so that's a modifier of 4. So here we go with a d20, and I'll add 4. So yeah, he had 23.
Okay. And the second claw attack fails with a 9. Back to Turpin. What would you like to do?
I would like to update Boy's hit points, which I just did, and we're gonna let Boy do his thing.
Okay.
So kapow, and oh dang it, I'm turning off advantage.
No, you have advantage. The troll's prone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he tripped and fell prone again.
All right, so there's the second one. So 22 at 19.
Those both hit.
Yeah, I'm picturing the fists and the pounding down on the ground thing with this, Mighty Joe Young thing. So that's 44 points of damage again.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the troll is looking fairly beat up. And that's even with his regeneration.
I climb another 30 feet in the air because 30 feet, he could jump and get me.
That's true. So you're now 60 feet in the air.
Yeah, I'll fire finger bullets at him.
Okay. Finger guns. Look. Wow.
2 ones in a row again.
So you go pow pow, and 2 of the ice sculptures shatter.
No.
From way off in the distance, you hear an echo of some inhuman roar that screams off in the night.
I'm going to get my fingers amputated. That's just ridiculous.
And what would you like Gort to do?
Gort is making sure that Sam doesn't get beat on, so he'll come out here.
Okay.
Boy is doing the beating.
He's doing the heavy lifting. All right. Sam, what would you like to do?
Moderate.
Okay. Oh, shit. 8.
3 damage.
Trolls are stupid.
Disadvantage.
At least Sam didn't destroy any of the freaking ice sculptures. I was hoping that back along this wall there wasn't anything. Shit.
Okay, so he still has disadvantage. What would you like for Falling Rocks to do?
Shoot with a 16 and 18.
Both of those hit.
11.
Okay. All right. The troll regenerates 10 hit points. And uses half of his movement to stand up. Dusts himself off. I meant to do that. And is going to make 3 attacks on Boy. The first one at disadvantage with a bite. An 11 probably misses.
Yeah, just barely.
And soft 20 to hit with a claw.
Hits.
And the last claw, another soft 20 to hit.
Okay.
All
hits.
right. So he does. On the first hit, he does 13 points of slashing damage and 8 points of cold damage. On the second hit, 6 points of slashing damage and 10 points of cold damage. And Boy needs to make 2 DC 15 Constitution saving throws.
We update his hit points and Constitution, you say.
Uh-huh.
We said that was a
Plus 4.
4. So I'll do 20s. There's the first one, and there's the second one. So 10 and 20.
So Boy has disadvantage on attack rolls until the end of his next turn.
Okay, click disadvantage. Done. He's cold.
Yes. Turpin, what would you like to do?
Okay, where can we make some little red marks or some sort of circle or something for the broken? Where did I destroy? Was it like up here on this ridge?
Let's see.
I'll just let me make a green thing. Like did I? Is this one and this one or something?
Here, I'll
Or
show
what,
you. So
What did I break?
there's one. All of these are iced things. There's a broken one, and there's a broken one.
Okay.
Maybe I can fix them.
So, Turpin is now, just out of curiosity, if I just turn off my flying, can I get down to the ground from 60 feet quickly? Not turn it off, but if it's a game, I'll move. I'll descend 30 feet. Because I'm going to try to get to these broken things.
Okay.
I'll move over there. Let me see if my spell has any range. Because I want to fool. Like little kids. I want to see if I can't stick the broken shards on there and then use water to freeze it back.
Maybe I can super glue this back together. Mom won't notice.
Well, exactly. That is the panicked thinking of Turpin at this moment. Meanwhile, while Turpin's freaking out about the statues that he just broke, Boy at disadvantage does his first attack and his second attack.
The second attack hits.
Holy!
So that's
those
another.
are dang good for disadvantage attacks.
At 22, the troll goes down.
And Boy is going to continue to pound on it as a gigantic ape, just in case it tries to regenerate from.
Okay. Yeah, because troll, you're going to want to do some kind of acid or fire damage.
Yeah. So he keeps doing. He stands on it and starts hopping up and down like a crazy monkey, and meanwhile Turpin's on the ground, frantically trying to put the pieces back on, or maybe just freeze new water over and make a fake leg, or for one of the broken deers, or stick the head back on, or whatever it is.
So Valish Gant casts Firebolt on the troll and ends it permanently. So it can't regen. Your attempt, I don't know. Go ahead and make, just for shits and giggles, go ahead and make a performance check. Or really a deception check to see if anybody will notice.
I got a soft 20, so I did a decent job, but the DC on this has got to be high. I have to fool a god.
So yeah, the works of art that Oral had created are absolute perfect representations, but sculpted out of ice. And so it's pretty obvious. You did a good job of putting it back together, but it's pretty obvious. Ow, hey, that something's amiss. And you can still way off in the distance, you can hear this inhuman roaring scream, and it seems like it's coming from the east.
We need to move. We need to move now. I told you guys not to hurt the statues. I told you. Nobody can listen. What the hell?
All right. We will pick this up next week at 6:00 on Friday night for Rime of the Frostmaiden. And we will pick up.
Are we on next week, or is it the week after? We're not meeting. We're not meeting sometime here.
So it will be the week after. So we will be taking off Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, all right. I will see you guys next week at 6:00.
Yay! Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah. Can't believe Brady broke the statue.
I'm sorry, you don't mean my fire.